dentist 5 times. Conover Family Dental. The Finneytown Skyline Chili. Eat in and catering too. From the skyline of the Bombers, the Finneytown Skyline Chili. The Lyle team with Sipsy Klein. Call Nick and Katie Lyle with Sipsy Klein for your real estate needs. The Lyle team. RDI. Win smart with our people and your team. RDI. Walt's Hitching Post, a Northern Kentucky steakhouse dating back to 1942. Walt's Hitching Post, 20th Century Theater, connecting the community with art, music.
We're not going to go to one segment. We're just going to go to a break, and then when you guys come back, just take it to 15. Yes. Sorry, they went too long.
Make it more at Thomas More University. Our Saints Essential program is designed with you in mind. Enjoy all-access dining plans, easy parking, and more included with your tuition. Visit campus and receive an additional $1,000 yearly scholarship. Schedule now at thomasmore.edu.
Whoa, long time no see. It's me, the Rock T-shirt in the back of your closet. Dude.
Provide support and
Tonight Show, brought to you by AE Door and Window Company. They sell the best and service the rest. Penn Station East Coast Subs. Penn Station, it's all in good taste. Thomas More University. Accelerate your career with a business degree from Thomas More University. And by Kelsey Chevrolet on Route 50 and 275 in Lawrenceburg. Greater Cincinnati's fastest growing full service dealer. And the Tri-State's #1 Chevy lease dealer. All because of your family believing in ours. From our family to yours. KelseyChev.com. This is high school football tonight.
All right, that is us. Hello, everyone, and welcome in to the High School Football Tonight Show, powered by TriStateFootball.com, here on Fox Sports 1360. My name is Safwan Alvi. I will be your host, and I am joined, as always, by my friend and my partner in crime, the Dawn of High School Football, the Guru, the Shuru. His name is Greg Shoemaker, and we are TriStateFootball.com, your go-to destination for all things high school football in Southwest Ohio, Eastern Indiana, and Northern Kentucky. Be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms, right? The venue formerly known as Twitter and Instagram at TS Football. Again, that's at TS Football. You can also like us on Facebook. Just search in TriStateFootball.com, and you can also like us on YouTube and subscribe to us on YouTube, where our friends Wes Akers and Friday Football Live are hanging out with us tonight. We thank them for their contributions as well. We got Kenzie Bartone behind the glass, and Greg, it is playoff football all over the tri-state area. We got Ohio, we got Indiana, we got Kentucky. Playoffs everywhere. We have so much to get to tonight. We thank everybody for listening. We are with you until 11 p.m. talking all things high school football and playoff football here in the tri-state area, Greg. And let's jump right into it with the big boys of Division I, Region 4, right? We have so much to get to. Let's start off with the game that we heard right here on these airways, Greg. Two blue bloods, the number 6th ranked St. Xavier Bombers. They were taking on the 3rd seeded Winton Woods Warriors at Winton Woods. And Greg, the defense of St. Xavier stands tall, a 22-10 victory. Special teams, right, were also a big factor in this game. The Bombers moving on to the 3rd round.
Yeah, I mean, what a game. It was everything we expected, right? St. X is just playing fantastic football right now. 118 points the last two, or I'm sorry, excuse me. That's Moeller 118 points the last two games, but St. X defensively playing lights out, and to hold Winton Woods to 10 like they did, fantastic night.
Absolutely, and we are going to stay right there in the GCL South, Greg, because they had, for the most part, a very productive night. We are going to get to all of them, and that's where I want to go, right? The number 1 seed in Division I, Region 4, the Moeller Crusaders. They were taking on the 8th seeded GMC, John Kitna-led Lakota East Thunderbirds, and Moeller got the job done 55-28. And Greg, is there anything that hasn't been said about this Moeller Crusaders team? They are dominating week in and week out. This team looks state championship caliber.
Yep, 52 points 3 weeks ago, 52 plus in the last 3 weeks in each of these games, and there was 28-0 after the first quarter. They had a running clock on East in the second half. They just continue to do well. And you know the thing that we're really seeing that we don't see with a lot of these teams is the depth that Moeller has throughout every position. You know, they were banged up at running back early in the year. They've got that going on now. You know, Roman Mason went into the secondary. He had such a great year as a wide receiver, had 2 pick sixes last week. I think they had another pick six tonight. So, I mean, this team's just amazing. I mean, we just don't get that kind of depth on teams like this team has. It's so fun to just and refreshing to see.
Yeah, it also doesn't hurt they have one of the best quarterbacks in the state of Ohio at Mount Ponatoski at quarterback, right?
Absolutely. I mean, the kid just flat out slings it each week.
Absolutely. And then the one GCL South team season that unfortunately did come to an end tonight was the 7th seeded Elder Panthers. They were taking on the 2nd seeded Lakota West High School over there in Westchester. And Elder came up just short. This was a very competitive game. Lakota West wins the game 20-14. Quarterback Sam Wiles accounted for all 3 of Lakota West's touchdowns. And remember, that Elder score is brought to you by Kelsey Truck Country on Route 50 and 275 in Lawrenceburg, Greater Cincinnati's fastest growing full-service dealer and the Tri-State's #1 Chevy lease dealer, all because your family believing in ours. From our family to yours, KelseyChev.com. And Greg, this Lakota West game, very close, right? Sam Wiles was the big factor in this game. Overall, great season by Elder, right? They're well coached. They fought hard. They played well on defense. But this Lakota West defense, Greg, right? This is a different level that Elder just simply couldn't overcome tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they played so well throughout the whole season. You know, as good as Sam Wiles has been offensively for the Firebirds, their defense is just so stellar up front in their front. Again, another team that has depth up front. So the top 4 seeds are all still in the pod here in Division I, Region 4, and I think that's what we wanted and that's what we expected. What rematches of Week 1 next week with St. X and West and Princeton and Moeller.
Absolutely.
And they're both at the same locations. I I don't know about that West game. Was that?
Yeah, so the Princeton game won't be because that was at Princeton in week 1. So
Oh yeah,
obviously
okay.
that won't be a home
Oh,
game.
Yeah, they may even be.
Maybe at Mason High School. That's
yeah,
usually
that's where I
neutral
think
site.
they would end up playing this one for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And as Greg alluded to, that last game in Division I, Region 4, a GMC battle between the 5th-seeded Hamilton Big Blue and the Princeton Vikings. Again, that game was at Princeton. A rematch, right? A little bit of a personal game this was because earlier in the regular season, Hamilton laid a beat down on Princeton by a score of 34-0. And tonight, Greg, when it matters the most, Princeton does return the favor, winning that game 37-7. And with those scores being final, as you mentioned, we get rematches of week 1, right? Lakota West versus St. Xavier, and then Princeton versus Moeller. We are going to do it all over again. Tell me what are your early thoughts with these big matchups?
Well, so our guy, Jacob Burkmeyer, was out covering the Princeton-Hamilton game tonight, and so the win wasn't without cost for Princeton tonight as Andre Parker Jr., their fine linebacker, goes down to injury. He was carried off in an air cast on his leg, and from what I understand, Antonio Hunter played much of the night at quarterback as D'Lo Birch was out as well. So we'll see how those injuries pan out here over the course of the week in this game, for sure.
Absolutely. Division I, Region 4, as we talked about, a lot of chalk, right? The top 4 seeds, they advanced to the 3rd round. I want to stay in Southwest Ohio and jump to Division II, Region 8, right? Some of our other big teams in the area. Number 1 seeded Anderson, Greg, they took care of business. They were playing Butler tonight, the 8th seed. They won by a score of 49-14. Again, this is something we, expected to see. Greg, the train is rolling for Anderson, and they have their sights set, on that Massillon-Washington game. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but this Anderson team continues to roll on offense and defense.
So, yeah, I mean, everything they do is good. Butler just didn't have enough athletes to compete. And Butler had some injuries, too, in their backfield this year. They did a nice job again. Zach Geith does a nice job with that team. And but, Anderson, again, another big night, both sides of the football. They look like a team that's a regional champion, and it's going to be fun to watch the next couple of games here. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. And jumping over to the 2nd seed, again, Division II, Region 8. How about the LaSalle Lancers? Talking about a different team we have seen this past, month of the season going into the playoffs. They were taking on Kings tonight, right? An excellent coached Kings team. We love what Coach Alex Garvin does with that squad and that program. Greg, LaSalle wins this game 35-27. It was one of the barn burner games. And all of a sudden, right, at the perfect time, LaSalle has an offense that is cooking, and they are one of the most dangerous teams in Division II right now.
And for them to put up 35 off of a Kings team that had shutouts in 4 of the last 5 weeks and playing very good football, it's a very impressive job. And, it is fun to see them finally starting to figure out who they are on offense. And the 4 teams that are left in Division II, Region 8 are all local Cincinnati teams. So it's going to be fun to watch this bracket next week in the semifinals for sure.
Absolutely. I do want to make a quick correction on what I said about Division I, Region 4. Winton Woods was the higher seed, and St. X beat them tonight, right? So the 1st seed, the 2nd seed, and the 4th seed advances,
yes.
And the 6th seed, St. Xavier, they won, right? So 3 out of the 4 advanced, and Winton Woods was the team that
I've
lost.
been putting St. X at 3 and Winton Woods at 6 all week, and I don't know why it's just in my head that way.
Exactly.
But, very, very little difference in that game, and for sure we saw that tonight.
Yeah, so 3 out of 4 in Division I, Region 4 has gone on. And St. X, the 6th seed, they will move on to that next round, Greg. And we were staying in Southwest Ohio over to the west side, 6th-seeded Harrison, right, the Wildcats.
6th seed winning.
They were taking on the 3rd-seeded Xenia, 45-28. Greg, this Harrison team, right, a lot of good offense. Cole Coops, one of the really premier players in the tri-state area, big scoring offense, and Harrison moving on.
Yeah, and look, again, like you said, a big scoring offense. Now they go on, they'll take on LaSalle next week. That'll be a fun game. That could be another high-scoring affair, and we could see that LaSalle team put some points on the board again. And this could very well be another shootout.
Absolutely, and I do want to move on to the next game in Division II, Region 8, one of the really awesome, I would say feel-good, but not too surprising games of Division II, Region 8. The 5th-seeded Mont Healthy, right, the Owls taking on the Baden Rams, right, a surprising outcome for many of our folks here. Mount Healthy doubling up Baden, 30-14. Greg, we were talking about this before air. Mount Healthy may not be the deepest team around, but they have stars and athletes at the top of their roster, right? When you have a quarterback like Jameer Spain, slinging it around, and you have him, you are never out of a game, and Mount Healthy having a Cinderella run right now into the third round of the playoffs.
You're right. I mean, they're top tier. They found a running game last week, and if that continues to be good for them in this playoffs, it's definitely a plus for them. Now we're going to find athletes on athletes that as they go on, they'll take on Anderson next week, so that'll be a fun one.
Absolutely. And staying with some of the big schools, I do want to jump up to Division III, Region 12, Greg. We had some big matchups here. We had 6th-seeded McNick. They were taking on 3rd-seeded Bellbrook. A very close game, right? A field goal decided this game. Bellbrook slightly over McNick. This was a really fun game to follow.
Riley Farron, the kicker up at Bellbrook's a special one. And tonight his foot actually won the game for him. A good special teams night for them. And in Division III, Region 12, buddy, we have no local Cincinnati teams left. So as good as Division II and Division I are, there's not going to be a state champion from Cincinnati in Division III this year.
Yeah, unfortunately, with McNick going down, the other games in Division III, Region 12, right, top-seeded Tippecanoe, they actually, I believe, lost today.
They lost
to St. Mary's Memorial, right? So the 1 seed in Division III lost tonight, and that's not the only 1 seed that lost, right? We were going to get to that in Division I as well. They beat Tippecanoe 16-13, and then Wilmington, they were taking on Wapakoneta, Wilmington being the 10th seed and Wapakoneta being the 2nd seed, but Wapakoneta getting the job done there, 48-12. And Greg, overall, some of these Division I, 2, and 3 games, anything stand out to you with Division II and Division III now, especially with LaSalle, right, Mount Healthy playing well? These are 2 exciting divisions and some really good teams moving forward.
Absolutely, and I'm so excited about the fact that the Division II with all the 4 teams left. I mean, Harrison LaSalle is going to be a fun game. Mount Healthy and Anderson. Just the athletes that are going to be. The defense for Anderson going up against Spain and Scott and Ace Cooper. That's going to be so just awesome to see those matchups against Alston and Saunders and Kamari Ty. Yeah.
Absolutely. A lot of athletes. And that's what you want, right? You want the best athletes, the best teams. This is what playoff football is all about in Southwest Ohio. You want the best versus the best. All right, we got so much more to get to. Again, we got some small school action, right? We got overtime games, another top-seeded program going down. Again, we have so much more to get to. We're going to talk to some head coaches on the hotline. We also got some community engagement members of some big schools around the corner as well. We got Wes Akers from Friday Football Live hanging out with us. Again, the TriStateFootball.com team here. Safwan Elvey, Greg Shoemaker here with you until 11 p.m. We'll be right back on the High School Football Tonight Show on Fox Sports 1360.
We've been doing our own thing for more than 50 years at Gold Star. Also, you can do your own thing. The coney thing, the veggie thing, the fries thing, the juicy flat top burger thing, the cheesy, crunchy, wrapped up in a tortilla, can't believe this is a thing. It's not what you'd expect from a neighborhood chili parlor. And we think that's a good thing. At Gold Star, you're invited to come as you are, like what you like, and follow your own recipe.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Getting support from friends online kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
Instead of smoking after I ate, I'd get up and take a walk.
I missed having a cigarette.
Okay.
So I'd hold a pen or a straw, anything.
Until I knew I wouldn't give in to temptation, I spent more time with my friends who didn't smoke.
I went to places that were smoke-free.
I didn't stay quit the very first time I tried.
I kept on trying, and I learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
I quit.
I quit.
I quit.
We did it, so can you.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and CDC.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, wherever the mission takes us, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Everybody buckle up.
Mom.
Buckle up.
Let's go.
Buckle up.
Can we go to the store? Mom,
buckle
can we get
up.
some ice cream?
Everybody, buckle up.
A lot goes on in the car, but you're in control. So only move when you hear the click that says they're buckled in. Never give up until they buckle up. Learn more at safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm gonna have to find a new genius, or two have geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Don't miss Macy's One Day Sale with specials so good they won't last. Save on everything to elevate your look for the holidays, like designer suits, 50 to 60% off, women's boots and shoes, 40% off, and warm winter coats, 50 to 60% off. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members earn $10 in Star Money for every $100 spent on qualifying purchases. Now during Macy's Star Money bonus days. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Mela Services has been your one-stop shop for window and carpet cleaning for over 15 years. We've built a reputation for excellence with thorough, responsive, and dependable service. Mela's proud of our 4.9 out of 5-star Google ranking because it means we've delivered excellent service to our customers over and over again. So let us put our award-winning team of cleaning experts to work for you. Check us out at melaservices.com/football.
The holidays are a great time for people to get together, whether it's family or friends. So why not add some magic to your next get-together by hosting it at Montgomery Inn? With 2 locations, each dining room offers a unique experience with a wide range of accommodations for every need. And for events not at Montgomery Inn, Cincy favorites can be catered to your home or shipped nationwide. Let Montgomery Inn be a part of your tradition this holiday season.
Genesis Diamond's biggest and last sale of the year is finally here this weekend. Hi, it's David Cooper, Vice President at Genesis, inviting you to an extraordinary event with savings up to 35% store-wide. Rings, earrings, necklaces, bracelets, nothing is held back for this once-a-year, 3-day store-wide event. Acclaimed designers are here with expanded collections and special pricing. Plus, get 0% interest financing. Luxury pre-owned Rolexes are all included. It's this Friday, Saturday, and yes, Sunday for this incredible event. Genesis Diamonds on Montgomery Road. See store for details.
WLWT Blitz 5 is putting the fun back in football.
Blitz 5 Nation, how we doing tonight?
With Charlie, Olivia, and the whole Blitz 5 team.
We're everywhere tonight. It's going to be exciting for everybody.
Tailgates, traditions, touchdown.
Stand by.
Now our pool party! And it's all live.
No, I'm trying right now.
What else would you rather be?
WLWT Blitz 5 with...
Is there somebody else you want me to try if he doesn't answer?
High school football.
Tonight at 11.
All right, welcome back. High School Football Tonight Show, powered by TriStateFootball.com. Safwan Ugly, Greg Shoemaker, Tri-State Football. Our boy Wes Akers from Friday Football Live hanging out with us. We appreciate all the work he is doing for us. High School Football Tonight is brought to you in part by AE Door and Window Company. They sell the best and service the rest. Thomas More University. Accelerate your career with a business degree from Thomas More University. And Penn Station East Coast Subs. Penn Station, it's all in good taste. All right, Greg, we are rolling right along on this playoff Friday all around the tri-state area, and I want to kick back in with maybe the craziest division we have had here tonight, Greg. The only thing we got to say here is, are you not entertained, right? The games in Division 4 Region 16 have been absolutely incredible, including the first seeded, right, top seeded Clinton Massey, the Falcons. They go down tonight to Indian Hill, the 9th seeded Indian Hill Braves. This game went to overtime. Indian Hill coming out with a 16-13 win, taking down top seeded Clinton Massey. Greg, your thoughts on John Rodenberg, Devlin Daniel making a Cinderella run, defeating the 1 seed?
How about that? They lose their starting quarterback a few weeks back, and we had John on in the pregame show talking about how fun it is, in his 31st year coaching, and Talked about how difficult Division IV Region 16 is, and you know what? It proved tonight to be just the giant killer that they are. The Blue Bloods, some of them stayed true to form tonight, and some of them went down. And we have some new faces in 16 as well. That's for sure. I love Region 16. It's so fun.
Yeah, and the 1 seed losing is not even close to the craziest thing that happened in this division, because the 2nd seeded Wyoming Cowboys, who essentially this has been almost an invitational, right, for the past 10 to 15 years, they get boat raced tonight. That is correct. They get shut out at home by 10th seeded Alter by a score of 42-0. Greg, I know Drew Cripps he had a 100-yard opening kickoff return. Talk about setting the tone. What happened, Greg, in this game? This is as shocked as we have been all season in terms of a true outcome and what happened to the Wyoming Cowboys.
I mean, second half of this game, Alter was on the running clock. I mean, I don't know if that's ever happened in the running clock era at Wyoming to Wyoming. So, I'm shocked at this. Hats off to Ed Domsites and Alter. They lost their quarterback early in the season, and they've struggled to figure out who that is. Finn Freshwater, the freshman, played for a little bit, and Noah Jones has been playing there. But Drew Cripps, I mean, the last few weeks, big play after big play. Like you said, the 100-yard kickoff return to set the tone. Then the turnovers in the second half by Wyoming just didn't help. But then Cripps also had a 57-yard touchdown run in the first quarter as well. And last week he had both their touchdowns, and I think one was a 65-yard run, another 45-yard. So this is a very interesting altered team, great talent. It just took them a while to figure out who they were at quarterback. That's for sure.
Again, incredible, very shocking result. And Greg, let's finish off the trifecta, right? First seeded Clinton Massey loses, 2nd seeded Wyoming loses, and 3rd seeded Valley View. They also go down tonight to 6th seeded Taylor. Again, another blowout, 42-10. Greg, one of the feel-good stories of the year. How about Taylor? 42-10 over a powerhouse Valley View. They move on to the next round.
And they're running the table the deepest they've ever been, right? The first time in their history they've won 2 tournament games. They go to the regional semifinals for the first time in school history. Just a few weeks ago, they knocked off Indian Hill. And it was sort of like, wow, who is this team, right? I mean, they lost to Lawrenceburg 15-0 early in the season. They lost to Wyoming by 11 and then, or by 9. And then, after that, they've been on a roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 straight wins for these guys. They were at 3-2 at one point. They're now 9-2. Hats off to David. 10-2. They're 10-2.
Yep.
Wow, good for those guys. So they've run off 8 straight wins, and it's been something else to watch this little run. And I'm just so happy for this guy. For Taylor to do this is something really cool. And this is what makes every year so fun and so special, to see these communities getting this chance and doing some great things. Aaron McFarland, Mikey Branch, those guys that are juniors, this is not done by any stretch of the means out there in Cleves, for sure.
Absolutely. So now, if our seeding is correct, it looks like next week will be Taft versus Indian Hill in Division IV, Region 16, and then Taylor versus Alter. Greg, real quick thoughts, real early thoughts about those games. There could be some fireworks, even more, again, next week in Division IV, Region 16.
It's so fun. I love this region so much, and it never disappoints year to year, so I can't wait to see what happens. I still think, when we say this every year, the winner of Region 16 is always got a good shot to win the state championship. Yep. And I still think so this year as well, even though we've got some underdogs in that mix. Alter's been there before and done that. They've got kids on this team that have played in the state championship game.
Absolutely. An incredible night in Division IV, Region 16. So many fireworks. Greg, I want to jump to Division V, Region 20. We didn't have many local teams left, right? We had Madeira. They had that big win, right, last week, 11-seeded. They went on to take in Waynesville, but unfortunately they came up short tonight. It was a big win for Waynesville, 55-6. And that looks like it wraps up in terms of the local teams in Division V, Region
still
20.
From our SWBL.
Yeah.
Right, West Acres, the West WBL.
the Coach Commons like to call it the Swivel and the SWBL.
And West, the Brookfield guy that he is, that's WBL all the way. So, yeah, Waynesville's still sticking around in that league, and Bellbrook as well. So those two teams from up north still hanging in there.
Absolutely. And a big shout out to Chris Stewart and what he did with Madeira this year. He did an awesome
job. Great
job.
upset win last week. To beat Batavia to start the year. in a year they weren't supposed to do much. They ended up having a good job, and just ran out of gas against a better team tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations to Madeira on an awesome season. All right, Greg, I want to jump to Division 6, Region 24, because we had some local teams getting some big wins all around the board. Second-seeded Cincinnati Country Day, they defeated Rock Hill by a score of 56-20. Unfortunately, Purcell Marion's season came to an end tonight. They were the 11th seed taking on third-seeded Anna, 54-12. And then a really awesome win. How about fifth-seeded St. Bernard, Elmwood Place? They were taking on Portsmouth West. They were the 4th seed. That was the 5-4 matchup. And St. Bernard with a 49-21 win. Greg, some local teams getting the job done in, Division 6, Region 24.
Gotta love that. I mean, it's awesome to see this too, because these two teams from the MVC, they played each other in Week 10. Both those teams, I think, were sitting at 8-1 at that spot of the year, and CCD won that game. And I was out there this week doing the Team of the Week presentation, and got to finally meet Coach Denny Coyle up there, and it's really cool. I mean, they put in a new field, they put in a new press box in the last few years. They've made the place look great, and 28 kids on that CCD roster, and here they are now in the third round of the playoffs, and a senior class that's had an absolutely amazing run and storybook 4 years there for sure.
Because they become a winning program.
Yes.
Right? You got guys like Lee Thomas over there, really good athletes. It's awesome to see CCD, but this is becoming a norm for them, right? Winning a lot of games, winning playoff games. They've become a true power over there in Division 6.
And the talent's not, the pool's not empty, so they got some kids left, but it'll be a different year because this is a huge senior class for them that's gone through a lot together, and just hats off to them. So, yeah, good job.
Absolutely. Big shout out to those Division 6 teams that are moving on to the third round. And, Greg, there's one more small school I want to talk about going all the way down to Division 7, Region 28. And this one was a historic win, right, for the program and everybody that it means to. Third-ranked CCPA, right, third-seeded CCPA. They were taking on the 11th-seeded Fort Loramie, right. I apologize for that. Fort Loramie. CCPA defense stands strong in this game, 18-7, and it is their first time ever advancing to the regional semifinals. Greg, you've covered this team for a long time. How awesome is it to see them making this deep playoff run?
We were there when the program started, and to see what Jeremy Flug did, and now to see what Jeff Cargile's continuing there, and kids like Petey Jones getting some love, and it's just so awesome to see something come from nothing. And man, this is going to be this is awesome. I mean, we don't talk about this team very much, but here they give up 7 tonight to Fort Loramie, 7 last week to Southeastern up there in Clark County. They won the week before that in the regular season finale, 40-9. And then the week before that, they knocked off a really good Schroeder team 6-0. So this team actually has a very, very good defense. I mean, they've held 6, 7, 8 opponents to, 9 points or less. So very, very good football team for sure. And now sitting at 9-2 on the season.
Absolutely. Big shout out to CCPA there. Awesome job advancing to the regional finals for the first time ever. All right, we are going to take a quick break. We are with you until 11 p.m. We're going to hope to get some coaches on the hotline, but we also still have some Hoosier State football to talk about, some Bluegrass State to talk about, and we'll run through those Ohio scores again. So stick with us on the High School Football Tonight show, powered by TriStateFootball.com on Fox Sports 1360.
Matt always knew he wanted to be a doctor. That's why he makes the most of every day.
No, he wasn't. I called 3 times.
To do whatever was necessary.
No, there was only one number.
He found an answer in the military. If you have a passion, a vision for your any field, todaysmilitary.com can be your path to a fulfilling career. You have a calling, we have an answer. Find your way at todaysmilitary.com.
I'm Bill Weber.
And I'm Adam Weber.
Now is the time to save at AE Door and Window.
We've got fall specials and Thanksgiving deals all this month, but no money down and get 0% interest for 2 years. Plus, take 5% off your total order when you combine and save on entry doors and windows from Provia and Pella, summer space awnings, and Clopay garage doors, and up to $125 off your new LiftMaster opener.
Check out our fall savings at aeDoorSales.com.
We sell the best and service the rest. AE.
I'm a firefighter.
A teacher.
I'm a farmer.
I'm a barber.
A waitress.
A mom.
We're all part of your community.
Every day we move in and out of each other's busy lives.
It's easy to take for granted all the little moments that make up our everyday.
Some are good,
Others not so much.
But that's life. It's when you experience a moment of uncertainty.
Something or someone's behavior that doesn't seem quite right.
These are the moments to take a pause.
Because if something doesn't feel right, it's probably not.
It's not about paranoia
or being afraid.
It's about standing up and protecting our communities.
One detail at a time.
Because a lot of can become a pattern.
We
trust our instincts.
Just like you should.
Because only you know what's not supposed to be in your everyday.
So protect your everyday.
If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Every day,
Okay, sounds good.
women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, wherever the mission takes us, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Make it more at Thomas More University. Our Saints Essential program is designed with you in mind. Enjoy all-access dining plans, easy parking, and more included with your tuition. Visit campus and receive an additional $1,000 yearly scholarship. Schedule now at thomasmore.edu.
So, 4-way with onions?
Wouldn't it be weird if I ordered something from Gold Star other than chili? Wouldn't that be so weird?
Not really.
Like, what if I got a bacon cheeseburger? Look at me, I'm at Gold Star eating a bacon cheeseburger. It's so juicy and delicious. It's so weird, right?
Welcome to Gold Star.
Hi, we'd like a bacon cheeseburger.
Garlic parm fries.
Garlic parm fries.
Follow your own recipe to Gold Star. Burgers available at grill locations only.
Craving Penn Station East Coast subs? Skip the line and order online at penn-station.com. Get your favorite sub with fresh cut fries and fresh squeezed lemonade. Visit penn-station.com.
The fighting spirit of the Marine Corps is born of battles won. Battles won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's a promise made to you for more than 2 centuries. A promise of the Marines.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you know to check that your seats aren't in the visitor section first, before buying tickets.
I'm so excited for this game. I can't believe you got us tickets.
Me too. Wait, are we on the wrong side?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
This is going to be a long game.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
You've got questions?
Yes, I have Barrett Cohen on.
You can trust? We've got that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly. Here we go.
Auto Parts.
All right, rolling right along. High School Football Tonight Show, powered by TriStateFootball.com. Fox Sports 1360, Safwan Alvi, Greg Shoemaker, TriStateFootball.com. Our guy, Wes Akers, our friend Wes Akers from Friday Football Live. You can find our live stream at TriStateFootball.com. Go to the YouTube channel. We appreciate everybody for listening and watching if you are doing that. A big thank you goes to a shout out and thank you to our sponsors here at TriStateFootball.com. Proud supporters of high school football. We want to thank them so much. Some of our partners, Gold Star Chili, Follow Your Own Recipe, Mellow Window and Carpet Cleaning, the best in residential cleaning services. The Underground Sports Shop, showcasing pride on and off the field. And finally, the U.S. Marines. The few, the proud, the Marines. All right, as we continue to roll on here, we have our first guest on the TriStateFootball.com hotline tonight. We have the Director of Community Engagement for Moeller High School after a big win for the first-seeded Crusaders. They defeated Lakota East tonight by a score of 55-28. We have Barrett Cohen joining us on the line. Barrett, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on another big Moeller Crusaders victory.
I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me on tonight.
Barrett, tonight's game, Joe Strecker was texting me in the first half and said that the Moeller defense really did quite a number on Kitna to start the game. I think it was 28-0 at the end of the first quarter. And talk about their play tonight and how they were able to contain Kitna for a large portion of this game.
Yeah, it really was, an enigma because we knew coming in, Lakota East putting up under the tutelage of Kitna, putting up 400 yards offense. So we all kind of expected a shootout, but Moeller races out to a 28-0 first quarter lead, and the defense really had them in check. They had 4 down linemen early on, and really they put some pressure on Kitna, sacked them a couple times in the first 2 drives, and they were rolling. But you knew under John Kitna that this football team, the Thunderbirds, would come back, and they certainly did. But, Matt Ponatoski with Moeller doing what Matt Ponatoski does, as we talked before, the Polish pistol, broke a record tonight, actually, an OHSCA record, which I didn't realize this until a short time ago. Matt broke an OHSCA record for the most passing touchdowns in a season at 44 tonight, finding 5 different receivers tonight. How about this? Both teams under Kitna and Matt Ponatoski over 900 yards of total offense. So it was 28-0 Moeller in the first quarter. Moeller would add another one early in the second to go up 35-0. And we're all looking around like, where's this Lakota East offense? And they started firing on all cylinders late in the second quarter. They scored 14 to end the first half. They had 7 to start the second half, and before you knew it, it was 35-21, but that's when Matty P and the boys started getting it started offensively, but a very entertaining game nonetheless.
Absolutely. And Barrett, you've been around, obviously, this Moeller program for years now. Is there anything different with this Moeller team that, is, the first seed, they've been dominant all year, starting with that win against Princeton in week 1. Is there anything different you're sensing with this team, maybe than the past 3 or 4 years, that could elevate them to that next level?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, for my money, last year it was number 24, Jordan Marshall now, who's up in Ann Arbor. And this offense, speaking specifically on the offense, this offense went by number 24. And he was able to ground it out. Matt did throw the ball a lot last year, but everybody knew when you played the Moeller Crusaders, you had to stop number 24. This team, I think, offensively and defensively, they're well-rounded top to bottom. There's not other than maybe Matt, not a superstar on this team, but, early in the year when they faced Princeton, who's a junior running back, they had trouble running the football. And now they've been able to run the football and play, as you hear the term complementary football. They're able to ground it out on the ground. They're able to now mix it in the air as well. And I think that's made them offensively pretty dangerous with Matt having, 4 or 5 different receivers he can throw to. The defense has been solid, especially up front. And it's just been a fun football team to watch. They are balanced top to bottom, and they're a tough out for anybody that's going to face them. There's no doubt about it.
Well, next week you're going to face Princeton again.
I got Kyle Hogan on.
Let's talk about that matchup. Like you said, you couldn't run the ball against them before. Now you're going to have an opportunity. Take us through next week. A look at next week, Barrett.
Well, I mean, Princeton's, we struggled against them early. I mean, it wasn't until the second half when we were able to open it up a little bit, finally getting them 38-21. But obviously, Andre Parker, what he does over there at Princeton is kind of what he did when he was at Winton Woods, and a tremendous football coach. And it's a team that we got game film on. They got game film of us as well. I know Princeton's a lot better in week 12 than they were in week 1. I'd like to think Moeller is as well. It's going to be a fun game. I mean, the rivalry between Moeller and Princeton, I mean, there's been books and movies written about it, and I know both these communities are going to be really excited for this one next Friday night. There's no doubt about it.
That is Barrett Cohen, the Director of Community Engagement for Moeller High School. Barrett, we want to thank you so much for coming on with us. Thank you so much for talking Moeller football with us. We appreciate everything you do as the first seeded Crusaders 155-28. Again, we appreciate it, and I'm sure we'll catch up soon, all right?
I really appreciate the opportunity, and go Big Mo.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Barrett. We like you. All right.
And Greg, and that's what Moeller is,
Yep.
right? Mount Ponatoski, we know it ran through Jordan Marshall these past couple of years, and now Ponatoski, right, just free to, sling the ball around. May not be superstar
Polish
receivers.
pistol.
Polish pistol, right? That's a sniper rifle. If anything,
Barrett
that's
Cohen, giving
that's
him the nickname. I love it.
straight sniper rifle. But Greg, we are rolling right
Yes.
along with the coaches on the hotline. It is ringing tonight. We have St. Bernard Elmwood Place. We're talking Division 6 Region 24. We have head coach Kyle Hogan on the line with us. They defeated Portsmouth West by a score of 49-21 to move on to the next round. Coach, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on a big playoff win tonight.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me.
Are you on the bus still, Kyle?
Yeah, we actually made sure every kid got in the shower first. So 2.5 hour bus ride back. We're getting showers and getting some food and getting on our way. So we actually just leaving Portsmouth now.
Yeah. Can you give us a big cheer? The team give us a big cheer on this big win?
Give me 1 sec.
All right.
Hey, guys. Hey, the guys on the radio want to hear some noise.
That's what it's all about.
Heck yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hey, take us through this game tonight. I think it's the first time in school history you advanced to the semifinals of the playoffs for the first time in
Yeah.
school history. And tell us about this game tonight.
Last week was the first playoff win in school history, putting us in round 2 for the first time in school history. So every week we're doing this. It's a first for school history. In this game, we knew Portsmouth West was going to be a tough team that was going to, run the ball. They were going to run it. They had 2 really good backs that were going to do so, and we knew we were going to have to challenge ourselves to come in here and do that. And the big thing for us was letting our special players make special plays. And number 6, Damian Dawson, is a senior, transferred over here from Rockland. The kid went crazy tonight. He had 3 interceptions on defense, had a forced fumble right at the goal line that ended up being a touchback, 3 receiving touchdowns.
Oh my goodness!
Threw a long pass all the way down to the 1. Had a kick return for a touchdown. The kid was just electric tonight. You pair that with our quarterback not turning the ball over, being pretty efficient throwing and running. And then, D'Amico Harris has been our bell cow for 3 years now, and, he continued to lead the way.
Yeah, Coach, I want you to talk about the resolve of this team, right? Because the end of the regular season, right, that tough loss to Cincinnati Country Day, a lot of teams, would be phased. They would be going into the playoffs, maybe a little shaky in terms of their confidence. But you guys have came out these past 2 weeks and really made a statement, playing well on both sides of the ball. Seems like your group of young men have some really good character as well.
Yeah, and I think that's something, I've challenged these kids 4 years ago when I got here. Do something that nobody's ever done at this school. Be better than what has happened previously. And then, for the seniors this year, our motto has been finish, because they started this turnaround their first year that I was here. As freshmen, 8 of them started both ways. For me, that first year was 17 kids on the roster. And, they've just put in the work to get to the point where we have the resolve now to kind of, bounce back from something like that. And, we thought we had a chance with CCD, and, it was a close game. And, we went full sellout in the fourth quarter to try to stop the run and win that game. And it didn't go our way, but they were able to bounce back. And with the school support and the community support that we've had, we've been able to just, hit the ground again and keep going.
Kyle, we couldn't be more happy for you guys. And now you enter the Coldwater Invitational. I know it's tough, but this has got to be a thrill of a lifetime for you guys, and you're going to play the best. There's no doubt about it. So I'm looking forward to see what you guys do next week. Talk a little bit about this journey and what you know about Coldwater.
Well, when you look at Coldwater, they've been a powerhouse in Ohio for years. And, some people look at each season at, okay, we want to win a conference championship, or we want to win X amount of games, or we want to win state, or whatever their goal is. Our goal all year long has been, let's see if we can get to Coldwater. Because if we can get to Coldwater, then we know we're doing something the right way, and we know that we can go and play the best and see where we're at and see what we can do.
Absolutely. That is Kyle Hogan from St. Bernard Elmwood Place. They defeat Portsmouth West tonight by a score of 49-13, their second straight playoff win. Coach, I want to thank you so much for joining us. Again, congratulations on a big win. We love talking to you guys. We love hanging out with you guys. Best of luck next week, and I'm sure we'll catch up soon, all right?
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it very much.
Thanks, Coach. And Greg, that's
That's
what it's
so
all about.
awesome.
That's what it's
so
about.
best. That's just cool.
Teams like that winning playoff games, right? That's why we love to do it. That's why we do what we do.
We want to get to Coldwater. Heck yeah, that's the way you have to think, man. Because I mean, Division 6 and Division 7 football in Cincinnati, we're striving to get to that point. It's sort of like Division 6 or Class 6A football in Kentucky. You want to try to get there and beat the Trinity and the St. X in the tournament, and that's what. I mean, for years and years. And I just love that. Our goal is to get to Coldwater. Because you're doing something right if you get there.
Right. And bottom line, to be the best, you got to beat the best. Right?
Absolutely.
If you want to take the next steps as a program, you got to be able to beat the best. All right, we're going to take one last break. We are going to come back and run through those Kentucky scores, run through those Indiana scores, and then talk about some of the big matchups happening in Southwest Ohio this week, and then a little preview into the fourth round of the playoffs as well. So stick with us on the High School Football Tonight Show, powered by TriStateFootball.com on Fox Sports 1360.
Let's trade keys today at Kelsey Chevrolet. 0% APR is back. Rebates up to $7,500 and a Kelsey exclusive. $1,500 trade assistance on all new Chevys. Only at Kelsey Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. KelseyChev.com.
Want to be debt-free by January? Get rid of all that high-interest debt and consolidate everything into one lower payment? Hey, it's Eddie. Call Loan Pronto now. With rates at their lowest in 2 years, this is the perfect chance to use your home's equity and save big going into the new year. Loan Pronto's got rates with APRs in the low fives and getting homeowners hundreds of thousands of dollars out of their home's equity. Homeowners save an average of $850 a month. Loan Pronto offers a ton of options, including total refis or their express equity lines of credit. Call now. Get a rate quote in just minutes with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. And you won't make a house payment till 2025. LoanPronto.com, 513-800-1550, 513-800-1550.
Okay, guys, I have a hard out at 59.50, and I'm going to play a 30-second bumper when there's 30 seconds left.
Approved credit, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
I'm Bill.
Okay, sounds good.
Now is the time to save at AE Door and Window.
We've got fall specials and Thanksgiving deals all this month. Put no money down and get 0% interest for 2 years. Plus, take 5% off your total order when you combine and save on entry doors and windows from Provia and Pella, summer space awnings, and Clopay garage doors, and up to $125 off your new LiftMaster opener.
Check out our fall savings at AEDoorsales.com.
We sell the best and service the rest. AE.
Craving Penn Station East Coast subs? Skip the line and order online at penn-station.com. Get your favorite sub with fresh cut fries and fresh squeezed lemonade. Visit penn-station.com.
For over 20 years, the Underground Sports Shop has been the local favorite for sports teams, fans, and businesses who are looking for quality products with prices they can afford. From uniforms and sports gear to fan apparel and promotional items, we take pride in providing you with the customized products you need and the service you deserve. To place an order, visit us online at theundergroundsportsshop.com or call us at 513-751-1662. That's the Underground Sports Shop, showcasing pride on and off the field.
I'm Joey Logano, driver of number 22 Discount Tire Ford Mustang. Underinflated tires put your car out of tune. But with properly inflated and maintained tires, your car could be in sync and ready to rock. Keep your car humming along smoothly by checking tire pressure each month and before every long journey. You'll enjoy a better ride, better gas mileage, and get the most out of your tires.
For more information, visit betiresmart.org. A message from the Rubber Manufacturers Association.
The holidays are a great time for people to get together, whether it's family or friends. So why not add some magic to your next get-together by hosting it at Montgomery Inn? With 2 locations, each dining room offers a unique experience with a wide range of accommodations for every need. And for events not at Montgomery Inn, Cincy favorites can be catered to your home or shipped nationwide. Let Montgomery Inn be a part of your tradition this holiday season.
WLWT Blitz 5 is putting the fun back in football.
Blitz 5 Nation, how we doing tonight?
With Charlie, Olivia, and the whole Blitz 5 team.
We're everywhere tonight. It's going to be exciting for everybody.
Tailgates, traditions, touchdowns, and more.
They heard about our pool party.
and it's all live only on Channel 5.
Where else would you rather be?
WLWT Blitz 5 with Charlie Clifford and Olivia Ray.
We've got a great night for high school football.
Tonight at 11.
Shop early, save big, all month long during Black Friday build-up at Lowe's. Right now, get select pre-lit artificial Christmas trees starting at just $59.98. Don't wait to save. Shop these deals today, in-store or online, because Lowe's knows deals. Discount taken at time of purchase while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or two half-geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/.
Here we go.
$25 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, welcome back in. It's 5 live at 11 with all the scores from across the area. Charlie Clifford, Olivia Ray join us. They will have all the scores and highlights. That's at 11 o'clock, WLWT, Channel 5. Greg, you know it wouldn't be a show without talking some Hoosier State football, right, and some bluegrass football. I'm going to reel off some scores, Greg, and you can give me a quick thought about what you think with some of these classes, right? How about Class 6A in the Bluegrass State? Simon Kenton, they lose tonight to Louisville St. Xavier, 48-13. Campbell County, they were taking on DuPont Manual. Again, in Class 6A, DuPont Manual winning that game 45-0, shutting out Campbell County. But I guess some positives in 6A, the Ryle Raiders, right? They were taking on Pleasure Ridge Park, and they ended up winning that game, pitching a shutout as well, 39-0. Some quick thoughts on Class 6A.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ryle. I think they're playing very good football here. And again, we talked earlier, you know, you got to get past Trinity and St. X in 6A, and this team has a chance to do that. They only lost to St. X by 7 points in the regular season, so keep on trucking Ryle.
Absolutely. Now moving on to Class 5A, the big dogs of Class 5A, they got the job done tonight talking about the Cooper Jaguars, right? Trying to make it to another state championship appearance. They won tonight 56-28. And then Highlands, they also pitched a shutout tonight, taking on Collins 45-0. Highlands are victorious there. And then unfortunately for Dixie Heights, their season came to an end tonight. They lost to Woodford County by a score of 49-14. Greg, quick thoughts on Class 5A in Kentucky?
Cooper, you know, as good as they are and as many as we talk about all their great players, Keegan Marr, the running back tonight, 4 more touchdowns rushing, giving him 19 touchdowns on the season on the ground, and back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, and it looks like back-to-back seasons with close to 20 touchdowns again for him. There's stars all over the field, and every week somebody new does it for Cooper. They're a very accomplished team with a lot. I mean, they're on collision course now with Highlands and for Class 5A and deep in the tournament for a chance to advance, to the finals again.
Absolutely.
It looks like it's going to happen.
Yep. Again, the first round here in Kentucky, here in Northern Kentucky as well. All right, jumping up to Class 4A, and obviously, Greg, we got to talk about the big dogs. How about the Covington Catholic Colonels? They were taking on Boyd County. They take care of business, 42-14. What are your overall thoughts on the Colonels?
Just been great since the beginning of the year. Since after the first 2 losses, stop us in our run game. We had Eddie Evanston on last week talking about it. They know who they are, and boy, are they equipped for a deep run in November.
Absolutely. And then moving down to Class 2A, we had Breathitt County. They were taking on Walton Verona. Breathitt County won that game by a score of 56-7. And then in Class 1A, we had Newport Central Catholic taking on Trimble County, and Newport Central Catholic pitching a shutout there, winning that game 49-0. Bishop Brossart, again, staying in Class 1A, they were taking on Bellevue. Yet again, another shutout. Bishop Brossart wins 49-0. And then Ludlow was taking on Dayton. Ludlow winning that game 55-9. Greg, quick thoughts on Class 1A?
There's still some good games left to be played. Newcath is still the team to beat down there, but Bishop Brossart had a good year. Newport's had a good year there. So, Ludlow just does their little thing, keeps plugging away there with Woody McMillan, and they can score some points. So I think there's going to be some fun matchups next week for sure that just keep your eyes on because, yeah, it's going to be a fun week for sure.
Yeah, Kentucky, their playoffs and their matchups are just getting started. All right, Greg, I want to talk a little Hoosier State football because it is sectional final weekend over there in the Hoosier State, and we have some really awesome games. How about the IHSAA Class 1A Sectional 47 final, Greg? I know your eyes were on this game. Milan taking down North Decatur by a score of 24-17, and this one was a big one for Milan, something they haven't done in a while.
First sectional championship since 2016, and not only that, first time they've beaten North Decatur in the playoffs in 6 years. North Decatur's knocked out Milan the last, like I said, 5 years before this, and wow, so cool for Ryan Langford. I'll try to get him on in the pregame show next week for sure to talk about his Indians and what a great job this has been. And they've just been just lights out here. They played a tough schedule. The Class 1, they play Batesville, they play Lawrenceburg. They're not afraid to play the bigger schools even though they're a little school, and it's paying off now in the playoffs for sure.
Absolutely. Now moving down to Class 3A Sectional 30, another game that came to a shock as many of us, Greg. Lawrenceburg, right? They were on a 10-game winning streak. They lose tonight to Batesville 21-7. Batesville coming up big defensively, moving on to the next round.
Set back-to-back sectional championships for Batesville for the first time since 2004 and 2005, so almost 20 years for that. And this is a Batesville team that lost 24-0 to Lawrenceburg in the regular season. It's just a great win for Coach Ellery and his boys, and they weren't playing great in the mid part of the year, and they had some injuries they had to deal with. And now it looks like they've sort of adjusted everything, figured out where their level is, and got back into balance. And this is a team that won a lot, a sectional championship team that returned just about everybody from last year's team. So, there's still the sky's still the limit for Batesville for sure.
Absolutely. Big win for the Bulldogs over there. And then, Greg, wrapping it up in Class 5A Sectional 14, right? East Central, the reigning back-to-back. They were in Class 4A, right? They moved up to Class 5A. They get the job done again. They are sectional champions. They defeated Franklin tonight, pitching a shutout by a score of 21-0. East Central, they reclassify, but they just keep on winning.
With all they lost last year, losing Josh Ringer and everything else, they've done a good job. Jake Miners has done an excellent job with this ball club. They're very young, and they show it at times, but now they got a pair of running backs that are sophomores. Mingus and I can't remember the other kid's name, but he's a sophomore too. Bellman, I think it's Bellman. Yeah, I mean they're playing really good football. We know what they do defensively, and they proved it again tonight against a Franklin team that was 4-6 coming into the ball game, but the Trojans they're good defensively, and they know how to run the football, and they don't beat themselves very often, and I think that's what the beauty of them is. They are at this time of year.
Absolutely. All right, Greg, before we get out of here, I just want to do a quick wrap-up, your overall thoughts, Southwest Ohio, right, Indiana, Kentucky. We're in the playoffs. Give me your overall thoughts as we head into the next season, getting deep in November with these playoffs.
I couldn't be more tickled about the way Division I Region 4 is set up with the top 4 teams back and rematches of the Week 1 games, and Division II Region 8. Look at Anderson and LaSalle still hanging out there, and we're on a collision course for maybe those two teams meeting. And GCL South went 3-1 tonight. They just keep on trucking.
Absolutely. We are going to be back right next week to talk all the playoff action in Southwest Ohio, Eastern Indiana, and Northern Kentucky. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Wes Akers, Greg Shoemaker, Safwan Alvi. We will talk to you next week on the High School Football Tonight Show, powered by TriStateFootball.com on Fox Sports 1360.
WSAI, the Fox Sports 1360 studio, powered by Ralph's American Grill in Wilmington, just off I-70.